What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. My name is Mariah, and today we are going to be making some acrylic signs, which I'm excited about. So this one we're gonna put with our logo on it so that we can have it at events to kind of show our work. So we'll put it next to our balloon garlands, our backdrops, things like that. So, things you're gonna need. You're going to need a piece of acrylic we have here. You're gonna want like your template. So I went ahead and I made this on Canva, and then I printed it out in the size that I wanted it. So we're working at an 11 by 14. So we have an 11 by 14 acrylic and 11 by 14 template. And then you're going to want some sort of like acrylic paint marker. So I just happen to use a Sharpie one. It's white we're going for. I have my acrylic paint, which is going to be our Party Thieves color, which I'm excited about. We have our sponge brush and some painter's tape. So I think that's everything you're gonna need. Now let's get started. All right, we are ready to get started on our acrylic sign. So first, you're gonna wanna take your piece of acrylic, and it is most likely going to have a piece of film on both sides, kind of as a protective cover, kind of like your phone would have when you get a new phone. It's protecting the screen. So yeah, we'll go ahead and rip that on off. Toss that aside, we're not gonna need that. Oh, get off my finger, okay. And on the other side as well. I'm gonna try my best not to get a bunch of fingerprints on here, but might be inevitable. Probably just have to clean it later. Okay, toss that off. Now, lay our piece of acrylic on top of our template. Get it lined up so everything's centered. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna take my painter's tape here. We're going to tape all the corners. I would recommend using painter's tape just so when you peel this off, your acrylic doesn't get any like sticky residue on it. Don't have any painter's tape, then you know you could always just use regular tape and maybe use some Gooby Gun or something later if it does get sticky. So we're just gonna tape all four corners of our acrylic to our template. That's way when we go to the next step, which is going to be tracing your template. Your template doesn't move on you, and then you have to line it all back up and all that good stuff. Our template attached to our acrylic on top, obviously. We are gonna take our pen, acrylic marker pen, shake it up a little bit, get that paint inside, helps it get down to the tip of the marker. What we're gonna do now is pretty simple. We're just gonna go ahead and trace our template. I do have very shaky hands. Try my best to stay as steady as possible. It's kind of relaxing. You have the done. All right, now onto the bubble letters, which are gonna be a little bit more difficult because they're not very rounded, not a lot of stopping points. So I do recommend starting and stopping in a point if you can. So either here or here. It's just gonna make it a little bit easier on you. Okay, on to the long one. It's these. All right, go. I don't think I'm breathing, honestly. I'm like concentrating so hard and trying to get such straight lines. I don't think I'm breathing. Try to remember to breathe. Breathing is important. All right, so those done. Now I'm just gonna finish at the bottom here. So I would say too, like if you want to get different size text, you can get different acrylic markers that have different size tips, and that'll kind of give you a nice variation of text sizing. Would recommend wearing a long sleeve shirt too, because then when you're moving and you're trying to do one continuous line, your skin won't get like stuck. It'll be kind of sliding more with on the sleeve. My hand is shaking. Now that we have it all traced, we are gonna go ahead on to the next step. I would recommend letting it dry a little bit before we flip it over and do the back, but we can take the tape off for now. I'm just gonna take this tape off. Not really gonna need our template anymore. It kind of served its purpose. All right, now you get to remove it. Boom. Perfect, so now we'll let this dry for a few minutes and then we'll come back to show you the last step. We are ready for the next part of our sign here. So the front tracing has dried. We are going to take it and we're going to flip it over. We're painting it on the back. So I do just have my little piece of paper here. I might actually grab another piece of paper, make this a little wider, just in case, you know, I go a little crazy and go off the edge. So, just to protect my table here. All right, so now we flipped it over. We're on the back side here. We're gonna grab our paint, our acrylic paint, and our sponge brush. We're gonna go ahead and get the back of this. You can kind of do this however you want. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a, you know, messy, fun, organic look. So I'm just gonna go with a bunch of streaks, paint streaks, and we're gonna see how that looks. We're gonna get both sides of our sponge covered in paint, both sides. And we're just gonna go for it here. Like I said, I'm not going for anything neat or perfect. I'm actually going for the opposite of that. I always go for less paint, and you can always add more later. The only thing I do want to make sure I'm doing is covering all of the lettering on the other side, because this is going to provide as kind of the backdrop for the lettering, so that it's a little bit easier to read on the acrylic. Really make sure we're covering those letters the best we can, even if we're kind of going off the edge a little bit, that's fine. This spot's not super covered right here. Obviously, we're gonna have to let this dry, and then we're probably going to want to do a second coat just to ensure that it is nice and bold. All right, so let's let it dry for a few. Our paint has been drying for about 10 minutes now. I think we are good to lay on the second coat. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna want this nice and thick in the middle, especially where the words are. Okay, I'm gonna use up this last little bit of paint that I have, so I don't waste it. Here, a little bit down here. Again, you can kind of do this part however you feel will look good. All right, now obviously it's not dry yet, so I'm not gonna set it down on anything. We're still gonna let it dry, but I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like from the other side. Looks pretty awesome, and it's gonna look even better once it's dried. All right, guys, until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right, so that was that. We made our acrylic sign. I think it looks awesome. I'm super excited about it. We will probably be making more signs in the future. I have some other ideas in mind, so I'm excited about that. Make sure you let your paint dry for at least 10 minutes. If you want to be super safe, just, you know, let it dry for the rest of the night. And make sure you clean out your sponge brushes immediately so that paint doesn't dry in them. And then hopefully we'll catch you guys for the next one. Like we have to say, you know, if you did like the video, go ahead and give it a like, give us a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe because we have lots more videos to share with you guys, and we're super excited about it. All right, till next time. Bye, guys.